Welcome to Offically. Before aircraft, the majority of the travel across the sea and ocean took place on ships. In the past, for many generations, ships were the only means to cross vast oceans, especially the Atlantic, as it was the only way to go from Europe to North America. Like any form of travel by sea also carries an element of risk. Accidents, human error, harsh weather, and warfare specifically during both the world wars have led to many ships to the bottom of the sea. It is estimated by the United Nations that there are at least 3 million shipwrecks lying across ocean floors around the planet. Resting undisturbed in the darkness of our seabed, these shipwrecks not only excite the history buffs but any common person. Here is a list of the top 10 biggest ship accidents in history. 10. USS Eastland. On May 6, 1903, this vessel started its journey on the Chicago River. It was a passenger ship used for tours. The unfortunate event took place on July 24, 1915, when the SS Eastland capsized on the Chicago River within yards of shore. It mainly had staff from the Western Electric Company going to their company picnic. Of the estimated 2,500 people on board at the time, more than 800 were killed. The disaster was caused by serious problems with the boat's design. Later on, the ship was restored and modified into a training gunship for the U.S. Navy named USS Wilmette. Finally, it was decommissioned after World War II. 9. White Ship. This is one of the earliest recorded shipwrecks which took place in the English Channel. In this day and age, crossing the English Channel only takes about 90 minutes. But in the early 12th century, the crossing was a dangerous affair. The White Ship was a vessel that sank on the English Channel near Normandy on 25 November 1120. Approximately 300 people aboard died that day. The problem it created was that it killed the only legitimate son and heir to King Henry I of England, William the Atheling. Later, it started civil unrest after the death of King Henry I. This civil unrest came to demise when his grandson King Henry Roman II took the throne. 8. HMS Victory. This battleship was launched into the sea on 23 February 1737. It served the Royal Navy for almost 10 years with 100 guns as armament. While returning to England in 1744, they met with a severe and heavy storm in the English Channel which broke and sank the ship. The sinking of HMS Victory, in one of the worst British naval disasters in the English Channel, and claimed the lives of more than 1,000 sailors. The wreckage of the ship was not discovered for nearly 250 years until 2008 when it was found. 7. Amigoja. In 1940, it started working as a Norwegian freighter. After Germany captured Norway during the World War, it was used for troop transport. During the end of World War II, on April 16th, a Soviet submarine shot a torpedo towards the ship and blasted the ship, killing almost all of the passengers and crew on board. The total death toll was 6,100 people. Only 183 people survived. The sinking of Goya was one of the biggest and largest single-incident maritime losses of life in history. 6. SS Kanye. It was a Chinese steamship that carried passengers and was operated by the Shanghai Merchants Group. On 4 December 1948, the ship was destroyed by a mine that was left by the Japanese during World War II near Huangpu River 50 miles north of Shanghai. This ship was carrying mostly Chinese refugees fleeing the communist government. Almost 3,500 people died with 700 survivors. Later, her hull was refurbished and re-entered service as SS Dongfeng Hong 8 and finally retired in 1983. 5. SS Sultana. This ship came into service in 1863 and operated as a commercial side-wheel steamboat. Regrettably, on 27 April 1865, the ship's boilers exploded and it burned down into the Mississippi River. It killed about 1,168 people. A significant number of deaths were also due to drowning or hypothermia. It is considered the worst maritime disaster in United States history. 4. RMS Lusitania. This luxurious ship carried passengers and government officials through the Atlantic Ocean war zones during its service from 1907 to 1915. On one such voyage from New York to Liverpool, on 7 May 1915, it was torpedoed by German U-boat U-20. This resulted in the death of 1,198 passengers and crew. Moreover, this also led the U.S. to join the war due to American deaths, causing a turning point in the battle. Even the British government condemned this action. Truly an ill-fated trip. 3. MV Lejula. This was a Senegalese government-owned ferry operated by the Armed Forces of Senegal. It embarked on its fateful trip from Ziguinchor to the capital of Senegal, Dakar, at 3 times its capacity. After starting its journey, the ferry encountered a storm and it could not maintain its stability due to overcapacity. This resulted in the capsize of the ferry within minutes. This mishap killed 1,863 people with only 64 survivors. The government was heavily criticized for mishandling the rescue effort. 2. MV Dona Pass. It remains at the top of the chart as one of the deadliest peacetime maritime disasters in history. The estimated death toll is about 4,386 people with only 25 survivors. Most passengers were undocumented. This vessel was made in Japan and was used by the Philippines as a passenger ferry. While sailing in the waterway of the Philippines, this ferry collided with the empty Vector oil tanker, causing a fire that engulfed and sank both the ships. A tragic scenario as both the ships. 1. RMS Titanic. Everybody knows about the Titanic. There's even a movie about it. For those who don't, here is a brief flashback about its history. On 14 April 1912, RMS Titanic was a British passenger liner operated by the White Star Line. On its first journey, it sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean after striking an iceberg during her maiden voyage from Southampton to New York City. Within 3 hours of leaving the dock, it meets with its demise. Approximately 1,500 passengers and crew aboard died, making it one of the deadliest single-ship disasters and the deadliest peacetime sinking of a superliner or cruise ship to date. The wreck was not located until 1985. So, this concludes our list of the top 10 biggest ship accidents in history. Do you agree with our list? Do you know about a shipping accident that happened in your country? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel to get the latest content. Thanks for watching. See you until next time.